What's up, centaurs?
Versace side.
Centaur Nation, Mr. Frazier here, your proud principal, here with a message as we transition for some of you back to face-to-face learning next week. I come to you today from the secondary in person in my office, which feels really good to not be at home. And I want to make sure that we all come together next week and have a clear just set of priorities and messages around what things are going to be like. I want to start by saying nothing has changed with our approach to the school year in the fact that we care, number one, about offering you a space where your well-being is the primary function, your mental well-being, your physical well-being. That is number one as we approach the entrance of about half our students back into our environment. We're not going to come back and hurry up and just catch up all the learning that people think is missing right now. We are going to help build some skills and all that, but our focus is going to be on reconnecting as people, as human beings, so that school feels a lot better for you than it has been online. We also hope that even though we have a lot of structures for social distancing and PPE and masks, that we offer you an opportunity to be more social than you are right now. So today, I'd like just to talk through some key pieces that you can expect and to help you prepare when 6th and 9th and 12th grade come back next week, March 1st, and when 7, 8, 10, 11 come back March 15th. So what does our space have to offer? What's the point of coming back? Number one, if you are coming back, you get a chance to connect face-to-face with your teachers. Our schedule will not change. However, at the beginning of every block, for the first 45 minutes or so, the teachers are going to give most of their attention to the students online, while the students in school face-to-face will get to work more independently or asynchronously. The second half of every block will be more dedicated for the teachers to give attention to students face-to-face, and students online can still be online, but will be working more independently. That's a big change in our schedule, but the times themselves for every block remains exactly the same. With one exception, our high school students will eat lunch after Block C, and you'll see that and talk through that in your homerooms on Monday. Some other things that we are offering for you when you're here is more movement. We want you to be able to move around a little bit as opposed to sitting in your space. We have a lot of restrictions for movement that are guidelines during the COVID era. We will be allowing you to move from class to class. So please know that. We're also working on getting enrichment activities for students, both online and face-to-face. Those won't be set in the next 2 weeks, but as we hire staff, we hope to be able to offer different enrichment activities that you normally would have experienced after school, but now we hope to have it so when you're not face-to-face with a teacher, that you can actually leave and do some enrichment. Stay tuned for more information on that as we plan those out over the next few weeks. Let's talk a little bit about expectations. And I talk about expectations less on things that we're going to do to you and more about the collective responsibility that we all owe each other in order to create, maintain, and sustain a really healthy and safe environment. The first thing that everybody needs to do, no matter if they are a staff, a student, a family, is to do health screening for yourself. You have to wake up in the morning and you have to determine, do I feel slightly sick? Do I have a runny nose, a cough, maybe even a little bit of a fever? Am I really exhausted? Normally, we often push ourselves and come to school or come to work. But during the COVID era of being in person in school, we have to stay home. And you can still learn. You can still learn online, even if it is your day to come into school. You can still be online and get the same instruction. So we're asking all staff, all students, and all families to screen yourself before you come to school, before you get on that bus. Do I have any symptoms? And if so, stay home. Always err on the side of staying home. In regards to collective responsibility, we're focusing really on three main things. Number one, we're asking all students to wear your mask correctly. This is our new normal now in our world, to wear masks in public places, and that will continue in our schools. This will help to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. Staff will be wearing not only masks, but also face shields to protect them, as adults are more vulnerable to COVID-19 than our youth. Number two is be conscious of space and congregation. Most of you know by now that 6 feet is the regulation for social distancing, and we want to maintain that as best we can. We know that there's going to be some times when we're not always in social distancing perfectly, but we want to make sure that if someone reminds us, each other, and whether it's students reminding staff, staff reminding students, families reminding us, it doesn't matter. We want to remind each other, let's separate a little bit so we're not too close to each other. This helps the mitigation of COVID-19. And lastly, number three, cleaning is on all of us. Don't worry, we're not asking students to come back and clean our building. Our custodians and our engineers have a system set up all day, every day for cleaning our spaces. Teachers between classes will have some spray that they will also help us with, but we will be asking students to participate. We will be asking, as you leave a desk, to help wipe it down from time to time. And most importantly, we're going to ask if you see a space that needs cleaning to say something, and we will make sure to get it on our list to clean. It takes a collective responsibility to open a building during COVID-19 and during this pandemic, and we need you to help us with that. But again, we're also not asking you to be our custodians and our cleaners. We have people to do that. We're asking you to be students. We're asking you to be youth and scholars with the mindset of cleaning is on all of us. Before we get into some final logistics, I also want you to think about this. As we get into the springtime, there's a motto that I really want you to internalize. We need you to show up. And when I mean show up, that doesn't necessarily mean in person. It means online or in person, depending on what you've chosen and what your family has decided. But we need you to show up. This is the time to really be engaged. And if you've been slacking, this is a good moment, a good transition for us to find again that energy and motivation to be showing up to class and being in school and being present. This then allows us to catch up. And I don't just mean catch up as in the sauce, but I mean catch up as in catch up in our relationships, catch up in our well-being, and catching up in also some of our schoolwork that maybe we haven't been putting a lot of effort into. And then once we catch up, lastly, let's stay up. Let's stay up together. Let's rely on each other when we're falling short, when we're not healthy, because we really have each other's back. That's what we need to be about. So show up, catch up, and stay up. Lastly, I want to talk through some logistics that are a little new. This year, to start the year, every student was assigned an A group, a B group, or a C group. Each of you, if you haven't already, you need to go into your Synergy, into your student view, and make sure that you know what letter you are. And you'll find out as well when you come into school, but we want to make sure you know ahead of time. A group means that if you are face-to-face, you show up on Mondays and Tuesdays into the building. B group means that when you show up on Thursdays and Fridays into the building. C group means that you show up Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursday, Fridays. And there's specific reasons we have people in different groups. We tried to assign them based on family needs, so families were home and in the building at the same time. And we also are not making a lot of adjustments to this unless there's some need with the family that we'll make with you. So don't come in asking to try to be in a different group because of a friend here or a friend there. We have to try to limit the size of each space as best we can each day. So thank you in advance, and make sure to find out what letter you're in. Secondly, as I mentioned before, we are going to follow classes in our regular daily schedule. We'll have homeroom, we'll have staggered breaks between each class, we'll have lunch, and we'll continue with our block format that we've been using all school year as well as last year. Third, we need you to make sure that you bring your computers and your chargers every day to school. We have some extras, but not enough for everybody. So we need to make sure that when you're coming to school, you're thinking in your head, after your health screening, do I have my device? Do I have my device and my charger? Because those are really helpful too. If everybody is bringing their device, we won't have any issues. Fourth, when you come to school for the first time again, face-to-face, you're gonna go into the main gym and find your schedule. We have maps up all over the building, and we'll have plenty of staff to help you find classes, because guess what? We're back all at North Campus. There's no longer a North and South Campus. It's just BC middle school and high school. Our high school teachers are back and they're all in new rooms, and middle school have moved around a little bit. So when you get your schedule, we'll have maps and people to help you identify where your spaces are. We will be getting, when you return every day, still in homeroom, so we can walk through some of those logistics. And lastly, number 5, we are having lockers available for you. We encourage you to bring your backpack so you can store your computers. We want you to bring backpacks to every class, but we do have lockers available that we will clean the outside each and every evening. And that's for you to bring, coats and other things. So we do want you to utilize that locker space. For those students that used to be at South Campus, we didn't have lockers. So please know we do now, and you will be assigned one with a combination. That's all I have for my messaging to start. I do want to let you know that there's probably a lot more information. There's a lot we're going to have to learn over the first few weeks as we come back together. But the most important thing is that we are coming back together, and we're going to do it safely. And we're going to learn together. So if you have feedback on the first week as you're getting back to school, I'm all ears. Let's continue to design and make and solve problems together. Well, not make problems, but solve problems together. And reach out even before next week. Call my phone at school, extension 2000, email me, and I'll try to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you in advance for watching this video. I hope you took some notes. We'll be talking about these points that are in the video today throughout the next 4 weeks together. So even if you don't fully understand, we got you when you come back. I can't wait to see you all, and those that are staying online, we aren't forgetting about you. We got you as well, and I can't wait for you to be re-energized and join and re-show up to your work. Thanks again, Centaurs. See you soon.